yes. Oh, no.
Sheamus made his return to WWE in May 2025 after taking some time off with injury. Back to deliver bangers and then more bangers after that. Aside from the elusive Intercontinental Championship that he'll eventually get, no doubt, there's not much the Celtic Warrior hasn't accomplished in WWE. He was one of the fastest rising WWE champions in history, a multiple-time World Heavyweight Champion, he won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank briefcase, the United States Championship, the King of the Ring, and the worst King of the Ring attire of all time to go with it, and even got himself a 5-star match from Uncle Dave Meltzer back at WWE Clash of the Castle in Cardiff versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. But what's really not talked about enough is Sheamus's tag team prowess, having had 5 reigns with WWE's tag team championships. His partner in these tag team endeavours? None other than AEW's Claudio Castagnoli, otherwise known to WWE fans as Cesaro. The Celtic Warrior and the Swiss Superman formed The Bar in 2016. They were an underrated act, and one that was better than you remember. So allow us to elaborate as we so often do. You're watching Sportskeeda Wrestling, my name is Liam, and today we're taking a look back at The Bar. A lot better than you remember. But before we go any further, don't forget to hit subscribe and click the little bell icon to be notified first about all our latest videos. We are getting mighty close to 200,000 subscribers, and it would help us out a lot. Thank you, and on with the video. When Sheamus was drafted to Raw in the summer of 2016, he soon began a program with Cesaro, before the general manager Mick Foley put them both in a best-of-7 series against one another, if that wasn't clear. This ended in a 3-all stalemate, with a no contest in the tiebreaker match. After these matches, it was decided by Foley that the two would team together and receive a shot at the Raw Tag Team Championships at a later date. This unlikely pairing didn't see eye to eye at first, but quickly found themselves part of a 20-man Raw vs Smackdown Survivor Series match, winning it as sole survivors, showcasing their capability as a duo at one of WWE's Big 4 pay-per-view events. Eventually, they got their shot at the Raw Tag Team title, held by the New Day, but they were ultimately unsuccessful in their challenge. However, by the time the Roadblock pay-per-view rolled around in December, they managed to put their differences aside. At the conclusion of this follow-up match, they captured the first of 5 tag team championships in the WWE, defeating the New Day pairing of Big E and Kofi Kingston to do it, dropping them to the Good Brothers Gallows and Anderson at the Royal Rumble kickoff show the following January. Next came one of the Bar's more memorable matches, the 4-team ladder match at WrestleMania 33 for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This match was famous for the surprise return of the Hardy Boys, who ended up winning the titles, defeating champs Gallows and Anderson and Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, as well as Sheamus and Cesaro themselves. The next night on Raw, the crowd loudly chanted "do-do-do-do-do, Sheamus and Cesaro." They would be officially dubbed The Bar in the following weeks and would launch a surprise attack on the Hardy Boys. They stated, "We are The Bar," in reference to setting the bar, if that wasn't clear. There were also some tweets about the bar, but that might have been an actual bar, what for drinking pints and stuff. They got themselves a custom entrance and some matching ring gear, and in Sheamus's case, a completely new look. This was of course his kilt, sunglasses, giant mohawk combo era. Probably the most distinctive look of his whole career, and actually, in my opinion, quite underrated. Their next shot at the Raw Tag Team Championships came at Extreme Rules later that year, where they took on the defending Hardy Boys team. They beat the Hardys and captured the titles for a second time, further proving their legitimacy by defeating one of the most decorated and well-liked teams in WWE history. They also had a 30-minute Iron Man match against Matt and Jeff at the one-time only pay-per-view, which was unfortunately titled Great Balls of Fire. This match was admittedly a drag, but it did show the Bar had durability as a team. They could go the distance, and they were proving it. And WWE seemed to agree, and WWE seemed to notice this, giving them a high-profile match against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam later that year. Rollins and Ambrose defeated them, which was a predictable ending, but probably the right choice if you think about it. Sheamus and Cesaro were actually becoming a formidable, capable heel tag team, with a lot of personality they hadn't previously shown. They fit in wherever they were needed on the card, either for tag team feuds or as henchman type characters in angles that required numbers. Quite fit in given Sheamus's history as Rocksteady in those dreadful Ninja Turtle films. Next, they teamed with Kane, Braun Strowman and The Miz at WWE Tables, Ladders and Chairs in late 2017, in a match that was notable for featuring Kurt Angle as a temporary member of the Shield when Roman Reigns was pulled from the match for medical reasons. Angle and the reunited Shield won this bizarre encounter before the Bar got their revenge by defeating Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So in case you haven't been counting, that's the New Day, the Hardy Boys and the Shield all defeated in tag team competition by the Bar. Literally some of the most important tag teams ever in wrestling. That's an impressive record. The Bar was involved in yet more bizarreness when they found found themselves tagging along outside the Kurt Angle's illegitimate son storyline, featuring Jason Jordan as Kurt Angle's son. The Bar traded the Raw tag titles back and forth with Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins before Jordan's WWE run was cut short by injury. They kept hold of the Raw Tag Team Championships until WrestleMania 34 in 2018, and at this New Orleans show, the team was set to defend the titles against Braun Strowman and a mystery opponent. Sheamus and old Swiss Tony entered on a cart as the night was drawing to a close, followed by a crowd of celebrating people all ready for a big tag title confrontation, as the WWE Universe sat at home wondering who Strowman's mystery partner might be. Could it be a returning superstar, or someone coming back from injury, or maybe an NXT call-up? Nah, it was just some kid called Nicholas. Strowman picked the young man, who was supposedly a family member of a WWE official, out of the crowd and then defeated the Bar single-handedly, winning the Raw Tag Team Championships and making Nicholas the youngest champion in WWE history. This marked the beginning of the Bar's downturn, easily dispatched by Strowman and his little buddy. They were never treated as seriously by the WWE after this, being dropped into lower and lower level feuds and rehashings of previous ones too. They battled the New Day once again, and the Deleters of Worlds team of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, including an unsuccessful challenge for the Raw Tag Team Championships in Saudi Arabia. The Bar had a brief hiatus around this time, but returned for a tag title tournament, which they did not win. However, with the help of the Big Show, the pair did manage to dethrone the Smackdown Tag Champs, the New Day, at WWE Super Showdown in Australia. Having been so used to winning the Raw Tag Team Championships, no doubt the Smackdown Tag Team Championships, which were exactly the same, just with a blue strap, felt refreshing for the team of Sheamus and Cesaro. Then began their Smackdown vs Raw Survivor Series feud in 2018 against the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain, along with Drake Maverick. You might remember this angle for the time Big Show grabbed Drake Maverick around the neck, causing the former Rockstar Spud to piss his pants on national television and in front of a crowd of thousands of people. Comedy gold to those backstage, I have no doubt. Despite making one of their opponents literally wet his pants with fear, the Bar came up short at Survivor Series, then lost the Smackdown Tag Team Championships to the team of The Miz and the quote, best in the world, Shane McMahon. A team which is best left forgotten, I think we'll all agree. This was the last tag title accolade for Sheamus and Cesaro as a unit, though they did make a challenge for the Smackdown tag titles at WrestleMania 35 in a fatal 4-way tag team match. But that was the closest they'd ever get to actually winning the belts again. When the Bar interrupted, the crowd really weren't happy with their booing and hollering. But fans didn't have to express their displeasure for too long, as Sheamus suffered an unfortunate and nasty concussion later that week on SmackDown, bringing the team to an abrupt and sadly permanent end. Cesaro would wrestle as a singles talent and then depart the company in 2022, while Sheamus would return to singles competition when he returned from his injury, which is exactly where he remains to this day. All in all, a successful multi-year run for this pairing, and one that definitely gave both Sheamus and Cesaro something to do at a time where they were both creatively stagnant. Don't get us wrong, they were rarely lacking in TV time, but this gave them something new to do, rather than languish in dead-end mid-card singles feuds. It allowed both men to show off their personality and showcase new looks that we'd never seen before, while adding more depth to their characters overall. Cesaro had of course already won the tag titles with Tyson Kidd previously, and Sheamus had been a part of the League of Nations, but this is really where they found their feet as tag team wrestlers. Sure, there were a few embarrassing moments along the way, as was the style with WWE at the time, but this didn't stop the Bar from becoming an entertaining and creative odd couple tag team, and they deserve to be remembered a little more fondly by us wrestling fan types on the internet. As of 2025, Sheamus is well and truly back, with his sights set on the likes of Grayson Waller, among others, but should Cesaro decide that he's had enough of his Death Riders gig over on AEW, and also make his way back to WWE TV, a reunion is something we'd love to see. Maybe not right away, but it should definitely be an option. Oh, and regrow that mohawk, Sheamus. You know you want to. And that's it for another video. What did you think of Sheamus and Cesaro as a tag team? Would you like to see them reunite? Do you think Cesaro will ever come back to the WWE? Let us know the answer to all those questions and more down in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling to see more content that's just like this. And while you're at it, why not enable notifications too, so you never miss a new video when it drops. It will also help us out a lot on our push towards 200,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sportskeeda Wrestling. I've been Liam, and we will see you very soon.